Hello and good evening, friends. It is so good to see you guys, even if it is on a Thursday. We're a little off schedule this week, but unfortunately I had to do some rearranging, but I didn't want to completely cancel because a week without my nail friends makes for a sad week. So here we are. We're going to do some summer nails with a beach theme today. I am very excited about these. These are easily some of my favorite nails I've ever done. I'm in love, to say the least. So I'm very excited to do this set with you guys. Hello, Casey. It is so good to see you. Casey, I love your, was it the dark nails that I just saw on Instagram? Fabulous. Absolutely love. Yes, Jada, it is so good to see you. It has been a while. Hello, friends. Hello, Christy. You are welcome, Casey. See, again, I'm so seasonal, as you guys know, with my colors, so I can't do dark nails in the summer for me, but when I see them, I'm like, oh, they're so gorgeous. So when I saw your photo on Instagram, I was like, girl, give me to the fall. I love them. Amazing. Yes, I am so excited to show you guys what we're doing tonight. Black is a classic, Casey. It is a classic. All right, friends. So today we're doing beach-themed nails, which I believe was inspired by our friend Chelsea, who I don't think is on live tonight, but she had requested a beach theme, and so that's what I ran with. And yeah, these are easily some of my favorites. So I'm going to show you guys. This is what we're doing tonight. Hello, Kristen. It's good to see you. Hopefully you don't have to work Thursday nights. Hopefully we can just enjoy. Christy, thank you for hitting that share button. I so appreciate it. All right, friends. So tonight, like I said, we're doing beach themed. So we are using one of my all-time favorite colors for summer, which is Namaste by Rebel Nail. Also appropriate because heading over to a hot yoga session after this. So the title of this color is very appropriate. This look is very easy, friends. So I would say on a beginner scale, this is going to be one of the easiest ones you can do. I use the scrub method for the ombre, which makes it so easy. And then if you guys can see, which the lighting is like, always makes it so hard, but there is a little bit of gold glitter on there to add, you know, some sand crystals for our beach theme. But yeah, this look is super duper easy to do. So I'm very excited to walk you guys through it. Yes, coral and teal are my summer colors of love, Christy. I love them. Yes, Namaste can get a little funky. I didn't find this set to be too bad, but one thing you can do is encapsulate in a clear. Because yeah, Namaste can be one of those like funny ones. So is Ola from Rebel Nail. It gets a little patchy and weird. So one thing to do is just to dip in a clear powder over top, and that can help solve that problem. All right, friends, Casey and Jana, thank you. All right, now before we started, I had a friend, I'm hoping she is on here. Actually, I just saw Chelsea join. Chelsea, we're doing beach theme. This is what we're doing. All right. Now, before we get started, I did have somebody in my comment section today announce that she is doing a gender reveal next week, and she was looking for some pink and blue nail inspo. Unfortunately, I didn't have time to put together an actual set, so I wanted to show a couple swatches, and I think that this look in particular, you could adapt for it. So I wanted to show some pink and blue swatches for our good friend here who was asking about it. So here is what I would recommend if you were doing a gender reveal very quick before we get into all this stuff. So definitely a light blue, a light pink is a must. And then these glitters from West Coast Dips actually match these so freaking well. I'm hoping you guys can see without it being too dark. But yeah. So I would definitely recommend these, and then if you wanted to, you could actually do this look. I would just alternate the pink and blue, and then you could add the little bits of glitter like I did here. So I'm hoping our friend who is very excitedly waiting to find out the gender of her baby sees this. But yeah, those were my recommendations I wanted to share with her before we got started. Chelsea, that's also a really good idea. One hand girl, one hand boy. But yeah, you could definitely do this look with these exact colors if you wanted to swap it over to do a gender reveal. So highly recommend. Hopefully she sees this. All right, let's get back into it. Hello, Kay. I just noticed you were in here. All right, friends, so let's go over what we're using tonight. So I am going back to my trusty favorite Amazon kit, which is the Manicure Dippy set. So these are the liquids that I'm going to be using tonight. Yet again, sorry guys, my glasses are dirty as heck. And when I put the studio lights on, it's like showing me all of my bad ways of not cleaning my glasses properly. There we go. Okay. So we're using the Manicure Dippy set tonight for liquids. And then for colors, we have Namaste by Revel Nail, which is this gorgeous, gorgeous summer teal. One of their like classic favorites. Absolutely love this color. And then for the ombre, I'm just doing a clear powder. I'm using Vivian by Revel Nail, but any clear dip powder is going to work for this. And then for the glitter, I surprised myself because I'm going to be honest with you guys, when I got this glitter, I thought it was kind of ugly. I didn't love it. And then when I was trying to find a glitter to do, to add some like sand to our beach look, this was the one, and it actually turned out really pretty. So the glitter I am talking about is actually LOD by Revel Nail. Yeah, it's a weird glitter. I feel like this extra light's kind of adding a little weirdness to here, but yeah, it's got a lot of great sparkle, but the blue with the gold I always found a little odd, but for this particular look, it worked really well. So I'm going to eat my words, and I'm going to admit that LED is pretty after all, so. Ah, Courtney. Yeah, let me know what your email is, Courtney, because I do know that a couple people, if you put your email in either incorrectly or sometimes your provider, if it thinks it's spam, so that might be why I was having trouble sending the email alerts, but DM me your email and I'll go on the list and see why you might not be getting them. Heather, yes, we're only doing Thursday this week just because I had to rearrange my schedule this week. So tonight we're Thursday, next week we'll be back to Wednesday. Christy's an LED fan. I mean, honestly, I don't know why. It was just one that I was like, ugh, I wasn't a fan of, but yeah. No, these are, I'm using tips on my nails tonight. Isabel, hello, friend to you. It's great to see you. Yay, Courtney, I'm excited for you to try them. All right, friends, let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to be dipping our nails normally using the TikTok application method for the Namaste. I'm also going to be doing a few dips and scrubbing in the ombre, so I'll show you guys how to do that. Once we've applied all of that, we'll buff everything out, make it smooth. I'll add in that little glitter ombre, we'll top coat, and we'll call it a day. So let's get into it. Thank you, Meg. All right, so to start this off, we're going to use our clear dip powder, and we are going to use Namaste. Christy, I feel you on that. I too have an addiction, aka a dipaholic. So, all right, so kicking things off, we are going to start by applying our base coat to our entire nail. So I've got my trusty toothpick where it should be. Let's get into it. So we're going to take our base liquid. We're going to start that brush in the middle of the nail. We're going to push all the way back to the skin without touching and then pull forward, and then we are going to swoop across for a nice full dip. So the thumb, the pointer, and the pinky are admittedly going to be a bit boring because they're just going to be Namaste, but we are going to be doing the scrub method right away. Now, if you guys watch my tutorial on the scrub method, I'm doing it slightly differently than I did there. Only really the order of like when I start scrubbing, just because we're using a clear powder. In that tutorial, I did it a little differently because we were scrubbing into a colored powder. So because I'm using a clear one, which is like the best for scrubbing into, I'm going to just scrub right away. Me too, Casey. I absolutely love this color. Also, is this lighting too crazy and too bright on your guys' end? Because I added an extra light because I thought that that might help, but if it's not showing well, please let me know. The other neutral peachy color, I think I was mentioning Ola by Revel Nail. That's my favorite like corally color for summer. All right. Okay, so getting these colors on here. Thank you, Meg. I appreciate that. Sometimes I can't tell on your guys' end how things look, so I appreciate the reassurance. Also, while we are dipping tonight, don't be a stranger. Be sure to exercise that thumb, double tap the screen, send some likes out there, and also sharing is caring. So if you feel so inclined to hit that share button, share with a friend, let them know that we're doing some beach-themed summer nails. Please do. It helps me out a ton, and I so appreciate the extra sharing love. So, Courtney, thank you for hitting that share button. I appreciate it. All right, so we're going to do our last full dip here, and then I'm going to do the scrub method on the two middle fingers. So, we'll have a little bit of excitement while we do this manicure tonight. Okay, Misty and Courtney, thank you for hitting that share button. I so appreciate it. You guys are literally the best, so... All right, so I've done a full dip on each of these fingers. I'm gonna move along and I'm going to start scrubbing the middle two. So I'm gonna grab my clear powder. And then also to do this, I'm going to grab a smudge brush. So basically like a really thick bristled eyeshadow brush. And that's how we're going to, basically what we're doing is staining the clear powder, and this makes for a really easy ombre. So if you've tried the tap method and that ombre method does not work well for you, this one is much more beginner friendly. And as soon as I learned how to do it, it went a whole lot better for me. So if you've been struggling with an ombre, definitely give this a try. Casey and Kay, thank you for hitting the share and the like button. I so appreciate it. You guys are the best. All right. Okay, so let's start the scrub method. So we're going to apply base coat to the entire nail. So starting the brush in the middle of the nail, we're going to push all the way back to the skin without touching, and then pull forward, and then we're going to swoop the sides. And then we're going to dip into our clear powder, and I'm actually not going to tap the clear powder off. I want to leave some of that on the nail. And then I'm going to just clean out my cuticle line. And while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and do my ring finger because we're going to be scrubbing into this one as well. So again, starting the brush in the middle of the nail, pushing all the way back to the skin as close as possible without actually touching, and then we are going to swoop the sides like so. And then dip in, and same thing, I don't want to dust too much of that powder off, I want to leave it. So I'm just going to clean up the cuticle area. And then I'm going to grab Namaste. I'm going to grab that smudge brush and I'm going to dip it in that powder, and then using like fairly decent pressure, we're going to put some muscle into it. We're going to just scrub that Namaste into the bottom of the nail. Now I am going to bring this color up about halfway on this one. Because again, we want that ombre effect. So on this one, we're going to go halfway, and then on the later ones, we're only going to do closer to the tip just to darken it up down there. But this one's going to be that first fade, if you will. Like so. So we can see that color is starting to change. And then we're going to do the same thing on the ring finger. Just using our muscles to scrub that powder in there. Casey, again, thank you for hitting, oh wait, no, sorry, I'm getting confused. Zane, thank you for hitting the share button, I appreciate it. Okay, my week has been good, it's been busy. I have a couple girlfriends coming down to visit me for the weekend, which I'm very excited about, so I'm prepping for that visit. But yeah, the week's just been busy with work. Currently painting the exterior of my house. So, you know, we've got a few things going on. Meg, I'm using the McCart Dippies liquids this evening. So this is my favorite affordable Amazon brand for dip liquids. How do I get my nails to avoid clumping? So the biggest thing is just making sure that you apply your liquid fairly thin. The other thing is, if you are really struggling with clumping, you can try the pour over method, which instead of dipping into the powder like this, you actually just pour the dip powder over top, and that can also stop clumping. But the biggest thing is controlling the liquid. Now, some dip liquids are going to be more thick than others, so they're going to be a little bit more prone to clumping, so that's something else to pay attention to as well. Awesome. You are welcome, Meg. I hope that helps. All right, friends, so we're going to go into our second dip. So on this dip, we are going to go halfway up the nail. The reason we do this is to build an apex. Adding an apex is going to add strength to the nail. It's going to help your manicure last a little bit longer. So that's why we're only doing half the nail in this dip. Also, we are at 51 friends. Last week we were trying to get to 100 friends on our live. We didn't quite make it there, so let's give it another go tonight. So to do that, it helps a ton to double tap that screen, keep chatting in the chat box, and also to hit that share button and share with a friend who might want to see some beautiful summer beach themed nails. So I appreciate all that support while we try to get to our 100-person goal this evening. Kelly, thank you for hitting that like button. To Lisa, thank you for hitting the like button. I so appreciate you guys. All right, getting into the next dip. So like I said, we are going to only go halfway up the nail this time. So starting that brush, let me double check that I did wipe off all the excess powder so I don't lose my mind here. All right, so grabbing that base liquor, we're going to start just below the halfway point, and we're going to push to halfway, pull down, and then we are going to put base coat on the bottom half of the nail. Now, to avoid chips, I do like to cap my edges on this dip. So I'm just going to very, very lightly run that brush over that free edge. And then I'm going to go ahead and dip in the powder. And I'm going to repeat this step on the pointer and the pinky finger. And then we're actually going to do the same thing, but do the scrub on the middle and the ring finger. Miriam, no, I did not. Miriam, also thank you for hitting that follow button. I appreciate it. All right, so again, starting that brush just below the halfway point, pushing to halfway, pulling down, painting the bottom half of the nail. And then we're going to run that brush lightly over the free edge and dip in the powder. Now, the other thing to mention too about clumping, some powders are also going to be more prone to clumping than others, particularly more pigmented powders. So think colors like dark blacks, dark navies, anything like that. So those ones, it's a good idea to maybe do the pour over method because that can help mitigate some of the clumping issues. Oh, what's the most likes I've gotten? I'm trying to remember. I remember all of my nail friends here went absolutely nuts one night, which was amazing, and I think that we got over 50,000 likes. Like, it was insane. So definitely, if you guys want to go for that as well, I would appreciate it, but please don't blow a thumb hitting that like button. Also, Courtney, thank you for the roses, 4 of them. You are too kind. You guys know roses are my favorite because I have a ridiculous garden and my roses are my favorite thing in my garden. So thank you very much for the roses. It means a lot. You were the best. All right, let's get this pinky finger done. So we're gonna do the halfway. We're gonna paint that bottom of the nail. Run the brush very lightly over that free edge, and then we're gonna go ahead and dip into the powder. And there we go. All right, so we've got that dip. So now we're gonna go in and do our second scrub on the other 2 middle fingers. So I'm gonna grab my clear powder and we're gonna do the exact same thing. So we're just gonna apply the liquid because we're gonna build the apex on these obviously. So we're gonna apply our liquid to half the nail. So starting the brush a little lower than half, painting that bottom. And then running the brush very lightly over the edge, and then we are going to put it in the clear powder without tapping the excess powder off. We kind of want to leave a good chunk of it on there. And then we're going to do the same thing with the ring finger. And then we're going to grab our Namaste. Now guys, just I can't remember if I said this already, but I want to point it out. Make sure your base liquid is dry before you scrub. I missed that the first time that I did the scrub method, and it made a whole mess. You actually want the dip to be dry before you smudge. So we're just going to dip into the powder, and then this one we're going to just try to get more of the tip and work our way down. So that way it starts to create that ombre effect, and we don't go too high with the color. Casey, hit it. Thank you for hitting that share button. I so appreciate it. Making sure you guys can see there. All right. So you guys can start to see that ombre is starting to form, right? So again, this is way easier than doing the tap method if you've struggled with that one. Miriam, not necessarily. So the reason that the scrub method works is because what you're doing is you are staining one powder with another. So this method is only going to work if you are scrubbing a darker powder into a lighter powder. So yeah, that's the limitation of this method. So think of it like it's a staining process. It's also why clear powder works the absolute best, because clear powder is the easiest one to stain. So if you are doing this method, choose a lighter color with a darker color. You're going to dip into the lighter color, and then you're going to stain it with the darker color. All right, so going into our third dip, this time we're going to go 3/4 of the way up the nail. We're going to continue building that apex so that we create a nice strong manicure that is going to last. Namaste is like, it can be a little funny. It can be a little bit patchy, so it can be a good idea to encapsulate it in a clear powder. I cheated and didn't, and it was okay. But if you want to be on the safe side, it is one of those ones that can kind of marble, I guess is the best way to say it, after you buff. But that's the main concern with Namaste that I've found. All right, so for this one, we're going to start in the middle of the nail. We're going to push up to the 3/4 mark, and we're going to pull down, and then we're going to paint that bottom 3/4 of the nail. And then we're going to run that brush again very lightly over the edge, because I just like to cap those edges. You can tell this is one of my favorite powders by how low it is. Like, that's how many times I've used this. And then we're going to repeat that process on the middle finger. I just want to make sure always that I'm getting that excess powder off. So again, starting in the middle of the nail, pushing up to that 3/4 mark and pulling down, painting the bottom 3/4 of the nail, and running the brush very lightly over that free edge. I've got a little dip there that I gotta make sure I fill. Okay. And then repeating this process on the third finger here. And there we go. So we're going to do the same process on the middle 2 fingers. Oh no, Tiff, I'm sorry to hear that. I'd be missing mine as well. Ginger, I am using the McCart Dippies, which is my favorite affordable Amazon dip liquid kit. Christy, I would agree. I think Namaste is an essential in everyone's collection, especially for people like you and I that are all about the corals and the teals in the summertime. All right, friends, so doing that scrub method again, we are going to, again, do the 3/4 of the way up the nail, do the bottom, and then we are going to dip into that clear powder. I'm just going to clean up my cuticle line, but I'm going to leave that excess powder on there because it's going to help us with the scrub once the dip powder dries. Okay, and now this finger should be ready, so we're just going to do the scrub method. So we're going to grab our little smudge brush, dip it in Namaste, and then we're just going to get the very tip on this one because this is where we want the most aggressive darkened portion of that ombre to be. Make sure we get it up the nail just a little bit. So I'm using lighter pressure at the top just to make a nice seamless blend, and then really aggressive pressure at the tip, like so. All right. And then we're gonna actually leave that scrub ombre fingers. I'm gonna buff those, and then we're gonna go in, we're gonna add a touch of a glitter ombre and then do a full encapsulation in clear. So the next step is we're just gonna finish off dipping the full Namaste fingers. Ginger, you are very welcome. All right, so let's grab our trusty toothbrush. We're gonna brush off all that extra powder. Casey, I think it's gonna have to happen. Catherine, thank you for hitting that like button. I so appreciate it. Oh, 1 second, friends. We lost my face. I'm coming back. There we go. All right, so we are going to go in with our fourth and final dip on the Namaste fingers. So we're going to grab our base coat. We're going to apply it to the entire nail. So starting in the middle of the nail, pushing as close to that skin area as possible without touching, and then swooping the sides on the way down. Now, the reason we do that whole pushback technique with the liquids is just to avoid flooding that cuticle area. It's going to give you a lot greater control. Got some weird bumps going on today. All right. We're going to grab our toothpick. We're just going to trace that cuticle line. And that's it. Yeah, well, Christy, the two angles are thanks to my amazingly tech handy husband. Otherwise, I would have no idea how to set this up. But yeah, he's pretty talented with this stuff and figured out for me. And I like it because I feel like I'm actually like hanging out with everybody. I'm not just hiding behind the camera with my nails. So it makes it more fun, you know? Thank you, Catherine. You guys get to see my concentration face as well when I'm zeroed in and focused. Yes, Christy, having a tech-savvy husband to deal with all the stuff you don't want to deal with on the tech side, A++. 10 out of 10 recommend. Okay. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so like I said, friends, now we're going to activate. We're going to lightly buff. I'm going to add a little glitter to these after they're nice and smooth. I don't like to add glitter before that because I don't want to, I just like to apply glitter to a smooth surface. I find it way easier, causes less problems, which I'm all about. So let's put our Namaste aside because we are now done with it. Ooh, Casey, I can't wait to see that. That will be a perfect for summer. What brand of liquids is my favorite? My favorite ones are Virgo and Gem and West Coast Dips, but I also really like these Macart Dippies for an affordable option from Amazon. Highly recommend any of those. Yes, Catherine, it's been honestly like whether I apply chunky glitter, if I'm doing a glitter ombre, no matter what kind of glitter situation I'm dealing with, I always apply it on a smooth surface. I just find it causes so many less headaches. So that's what we're doing. So we're gonna go ahead, we're going to saturate the nails very well with some activator, and we're gonna start buffing. Now guys, I do all of my shaping before I dip. So all I'm gonna be doing as far as the shape goes is just sharpening up those sides and doing a nice light buff to get a nice clean, smooth surface. Now, I find with this activator, I do like to be extra generous. So I'm going to apply it like so, and then I will let it dry and cure for a moment before I get into buffing. At which point, I can have time to talk more with my friends because it's a little easier to chit-chat and buff than it is to apply dip and chit-chat. Oh, mom. That's awesome. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, Catherine, that's awesome. I'm so glad that that recommendation has worked out well for you. That's great. Danielle, I agree. West Coast Dips is fantastic. Highly recommend any of their products because they're all fantastic. Also, what did I just, oh, you guys, it was the toothpick. It's always the freaking toothpick wanting to fall on the ground, poke me in the back. It drives me nuts. Okay. We are tap lapping. We are ready for a buff. This nail is some kind of, you can tell I was not paying attention while I did this. If you guys are struggling with a non-smooth application, this is going to be proof we can buff it all out. So I'm going to grab up my curved file. And then the first thing that I'm going to do is just go around the cuticle area just to blend those edges into the natural nail. And then I'm going to go down the one side. Now guys, this might require some buffing that is too aggressive for Namaste. So if that's the case, then I'll show you guys kind of what we need to do in case it gets a little funky. Chrissy, I'm glad it's not just me. Danielle, yeah, this is the one from Onyx Nail Pro. Highly recommend. These are fantastic, fantastic. Well, Tori, not to worry because it happens, but we can buff it out. So I think we're good to go. Okay, so like I said, we're going to go around the cuticle, just blend it in the nail, and then we're going to take our file and we're going to start just going down the one side of the nail. Like so. Now you guys can see how it's kind of gummy. This means it's not fully cured. So usually what I do when that happens is I add activator and then that will harden it up so it doesn't like gum off. But yeah, I can tell we're gonna have to kind of re-dip this color, which is fine because sometimes things happen on these lives and we get to show you guys how we deal with common issues. So I'm probably gonna have to re-dip this after I buff because yeah, I don't know. I think because I was chit-chatting, it got a little crazy on the application. So not to worry. So we're gonna do the same thing here. We're just gonna go around the cuticles. And then we're gonna go down the sides. It is some kind of magic, Danielle, I agree. It can transform just about any situation into something nice. Hello, Kristen, it's good to see you. Sharon, the key is buffing. Even if they turn out if they turn out a little bumpy, you can smooth out just about everything through buffing, so not to worry. So guys, after I've buffed, I'm just gonna grab my file, and all I'm gonna do is just sharpen up the edges, because like I said, I do all of my actual shaping prior to. So all I'm doing is just running the file around the edge to make sure everything is nice and clean and ready to go. Getting a nice, sharp, satisfactory edge, you know? Okay. So then again, we're gonna buff. Chris and I am so glad you're here as well. Better late than never, and you're actually here for the fun part because we're gonna be adding glitter here in a minute. So it's like you showed up for the best part. It's awesome. Okay. Same thing, we're just gonna go around the edge and sharpen these up. Perfecto. You are correct, Christy. We got the glitter. Elodie of all glitters. Who would have thought? Not me. I did actually see some people do some pretty manicures with Elodie. I can't remember what it was that kind of like made me feel like it wasn't my favorite, but it's literally sat in my drawer unused for a very long time, and I'm finally only now pulling it out, so. I am. It does look like a dip angel. That's too funny. You guys are hilarious. I never would have picked that up. But you're not wrong. It looks intentional, does it not? That's amazing. I love dip angels. Okay, I think that's good. All right. And then finally into this little mess here. Well, hello, fellow Rebel Nail Dipper Megan. It is great to see you. Okay. Courtney, no. Again, you sometimes with Namaste you can. I took a risk today because it actually turned out okay on the other finger, but no, I didn't do clear. I'm going to do clear though over the glitter ombre I'm about to do with the scrub method nails. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. Sorry guys, I just gotta do my up close because I can't see this one corner of my nail. This is the most awkward, like look at this. People don't understand the flexibility sometimes required to do their own nails. Like I wish when people are like, oh, your nails are nice, I wish they knew the positions we had to fold ourselves into to make this happen, you know? It ain't easy. All right, that's much better. Okay, we're in good shape. Okay, this thumb is a hot mess. So let's see what happens after we buff. We may have to redip over top, but that is not the worst. Actually, I can tell you with 100% certainty we're gonna have to redip this one again. So I'm gonna smooth it out. Yeah, cramping fingers is 100% a true issue. I find that especially when I'm doing these live sometimes, just because of the angle of the camera. I'm like, I'll twist it around and I can feel my like fingers all like, ooh. Ah, yes. You know what else is the cause of a lot of acrobatics is self-pedicures. I did my own toes the other day just using polish, and like the amount of like the situations I had to fold myself into to make that happen was insane. So it ain't easy, you know? Yeah, this Namaste gave me grief on this thumb. So guys, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna buff this out smooth, and then I'm gonna do one more dip of Namaste over top, because what has happened is the color kind of went on thin in some areas, and now it has buffed away. So at least you guys will know what to do when this happens, because sometimes certain colors just want to give you a run for your money. Like this one. Okay. Luckily, all things can be fixed, so it really is not a big deal. This is again what happens when I am chit-chatting a little too much when we are doing these lives, because it got a little crazy. Well, Christian, I'm glad. So you guys, just so you can see what I'm talking about, see how there's like, I've buffed the color away essentially? So this is because I applied the liquid a little uneven. The powder didn't go on evenly as a result, and so you can actually see where it's all kind of buffed away. So we are going to finish buffing it smooth, and then I'm just gonna do a redip of Namaste. All right, perfect. Okay. Not a big deal, but yeah, you guys can see the error here. I just want to make sure with the lighting, you guys can see where those variations are so you know what it is I'm fixing. Hello, Griselda? Is that how you pronounce it? I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. It's great to see you. Also, Kristen, thank you for the heart me. I so appreciate that. Alex, yes, I do have tips on today. Griselda. Okay, perfect. I'm so glad I pronounced it correctly, because I hate when I see people's names and I'm terrible at pronunciation. So it is like my worst fear to feel like I've butchered somebody's beautiful name. So thank you. I'm so happy I got that right. All right, guys. So like I said, with the buffing, with a little bit of uneven application, we ended up buffing some color away. So all I'm going to do is just one more full dip, give a very, very light buff after that, and then this nail will be totally fine. So nothing to stress about. Okay, so I'm going to concentrate though, because that's how we ended up in this mess. So you guys can see. Alex, I'm wearing half coverage tips right now. All right, so starting that base coat in the middle of the nail, I'm going to push back all the way up to that cuticle area without touching the skin, and then I'm just going to paint the base coat over. So now you guys should be able to really see where we've got some light spots that kind of got buffed away because this color was not applied very well, admittedly. Okay, and then we are going to go ahead, redip in the powder. Grab our toothpick. We're just going to clean up that cuticle line area. Once it dries, we will base coat it, and it looks like I still missed a spot. I think that I'm running low on my base coat as well, which is also why my brush is a little bit dry. Because yeah, you can see that it totally missed that spot there. So it's me talking, and it's also my wonderful favorite McCart Dippies running low. So let's do one more. It's gonna be fine. Let's make sure I get lots on the brush, and then we'll buff. And I'm not worried about this being too thick because I already kind of buffed everything out. So this really shouldn't add too much bulk. And then we're going to do a really light buff just to make sure it's smooth after I do this little situation here. Okay, so definitely added liquid there now. That should be fine. Okay. Beautiful coverage. Look at that, friends. We finally did it. Yay. All right. And you can actually see already that there really isn't that much bulk to the nail. So that's why if you do notice any coverage, or sorry, like spots that lighten, that's why I prefer to like just buff it out and just keep rolling with it and then dip over again if needed. That way you're not bulking the nail up too much, because if you bulk it up too much, you're going to over buff and then it's just going to continue to go back and forth and continue to be a problem. So buff first, get everything smooth, and then redip if you need to. Alex, so I just spent time fixing a lumpy nail because obviously I'm not always perfect. The biggest ways to prevent lumpiness though is making sure that you're applying the liquid in thin, even layers. Also, if you're getting some lumpiness, doing the pour over method can help as well. All right, we are in good shape, my friends. So I'm going to activate, I'm going to buff. Everything else is looking pretty dang good though, so I'm pleased with that. So I'm going to, yep, these are, sorry guys, my perfectionist side is kicking in and I'm just noticing little itty bitty things I want to fix. But we are good, we are good. Okay, I'm going to activate this. We're going to very lightly buff. Actually, you know what? Before we buff, because we might as well do two things at once, let's go in and apply the glitter ombre because we're ready for that, and then we're going to have to encapsulate this. So for the glitter, we're using Elodie by Rebel Nail. And then to do this glitter ombre, I'm using the same thing, like kind of a smudging brush. So what we're going to do, so we've already done the scrub method. So we're going to take our base coat. I'm just going to apply a light layer of base coat close to where I want to ombre. I'm not going to do the full nail. So luckily my base coat's running out, so it's going to be a light layer of liquid anyway. And then we're just going to apply that very lightly to the bottom half of the nail where we want that ombre to fall. And then I'm going to dip my brush. I'm going to dip my nail backwards and we're just going to lightly tap this over. Now, as far as glitter ombres go, they can be tricky, but fine glitters like this one are much, much easier to do. Okay. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the ring finger. Just very lightly applying a bit of base coat to the bottom half of the nail. Dipping in that glitter and then tapping it over the bottom part of the nail there. Perfect. Okay, so now we're all done with the glitter. Now we're going to encapsulate it in clear. Perfect. These are the Walmart special. I love these. I use them for my like actual makeup brushes on the days that I rarely wear makeup as well. But yeah, these are fantastic. But yeah, this little smudge brush, the more denser brushes are super duper handy for doing ombre. So if you want to do the tap method or a glitter ombre, highly recommend grabbing these. And then yeah, these are, I think they're available on Amazon, but I just got them from Walmart. All right. So now that our glitter is dry, we're just going to apply base coat to the entire nail and we're going to encapsulate that glitter in clear so that we don't buff it away. This is also that fourth and final dip on this finger, because remember we only did up to the 3/4, so this is going to add that last little layer of strength that we need from the dip powder. Oh no, Christy, yeah. I've done that before too. It happens to the best of us. Okay. Perfection. Okay. I'm pleased with that, friends. That is our entire dipping process this evening. So, Chell, thank you for hitting that follow button. I so appreciate it. All right, I'm going to brush off that extra powder. And then I'm going to add activator to those fingers as well. We're going to give them a very light buff, and then we're going to be into top coating, friends. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can see that I did it with this one, Christy. You can see those little chunks there because I got a little too close. So, yeah, I feel you. All right, so we've activated those. So while that's drying, we're gonna go ahead and just buff out our little thumbnail that we were fixing. Again, we're just gonna lightly buff this. We don't wanna go anything too crazy. We just want a nice, smooth surface. What's the best dip powder? To be honest, I don't think I have a favorite company of dip powder. It more kind of comes down to like color preferences and stuff. But as far as like what companies to buy from, Rebel Nail has some fantastic dip powders. West Coast Dips is fantastic. Virgo and Gem. There's so many. But I wouldn't say any of them are necessarily the best, but they're all very, very good dip powders. You could use your brush saver, Kristen, and that would help get that glitter off. All right, friends, I think we saved the day. Look at that. All better. It's like it didn't even happen. Perfect. All right, and then we're just going to lightly buff that clear just to make sure that it is nice and smooth and ready for our top coat. Like I said, guys, this is a pretty easy set to do, so if you're looking for good summer inspiration, highly recommend this set, because that scrub ombre is easy to do, especially when working with it over a clear powder. I keep turning my camera, I keep bumping it. Danielle, yeah, so two things. I always post a replay of it on the other video streaming app. So if you want to know when those replays go live, you can sign up for my email list by going to my TikTok profile, scrolling down, or sorry, click on the link, scrolling down, enter your email. I will email it tomorrow when the replay is ready. And I will also post a condensed version of this look being created as well right to TikTok. So my usual process. Ooh, Allie, yay, I'm so glad you made it though. All right, I think we are in good shape, friends. There's a little weird part here that got kind of funky, but other than that, we are like buffed out and good to go. And I bumped my camera again because I'm super clumsy. Perfect. Okay, I am quite pleased. I think our shape is good. Oh, almost good. I gotta do my up close, friends. You know, the old lookaroo. Make sure that they're all even kind of thing. I think we're good. I think. Oh, ow. Okay. My nails are good. My elbow is no longer good. Okay. I think we're good to go. Other than, of course, something else that I find when I have to twist my hand into a weird position. All right, I'm pleased with that. There we go, friends. We are ready to top coat. So I'm going to just rinse my nails off with my handy little water bowl I keep on my desk. So I'm just gonna get rid of all the dust, which you should always do. I just never show myself doing it because I never am by a sink, but I've started just keeping this nail brush handy because it does help to clear out all the dust before you top coat. Just make sure you dry really well. Yes, so I do have a scrub method tutorial posted on my TikTok. I believe it's under the nail art playlist. So that'll give a step-by-step of how I do this. Kristen, honestly, I am a walking mess most of the time. So I am always bumping myself. My freaking toothpick has tried to attack me. It's a whole thing. So anyways, okay. I'm going to activate, I'm going to top coat, and then we're going to be done. It's going to be great. Okay, so let's apply our activator. It's always exciting because it's like our first look at how this manicure is going to look, you know? And my favorite part about this glitter is that it's a very, very subtle touch. I didn't want it to be too much. Like I said, I was just trying to make it look like beach sand. So I feel like this glitter looks like exactly what I was trying to go for, so I'm so pleased. Okay, so I've applied my activator. I'm gonna go in with my top coat now. Now guys, to get a nice top coat finish, this is what I do. I apply my activator. You saw me wipe it with a lint-free wipe. You can also use paper towel if that's what you have handy. And then we're gonna do 3 very quick strokes with our top coat. You wanna limit the amount of contact time that the brush has with the nail, so that's going to avoid your top coat brush from hardening. So we are going to apply that first layer 1, 2, 3. This does not have to be super duper neat because we are going to apply a much nicer layer of top coat once we are done. Oh my gosh, I'm getting shaky fingers. Okay. And now we're going to go in and we're going to apply it nicely. So we're going to apply like we normally would with our base coat, starting in the middle of the nail, pushing back and making sure that we get a nice even coverage with our top coat. Now, if you want to avoid chips, make sure that you cap your edges. So just very, very lightly run that brush over that free edge. And that's going to avoid your dip nails from chipping. Oh, you guys lost my face. Crap! What inconvenient timing when I'm on the timing with the top coat. Okay. I should come back in a second. There we go. Okay, let's continue. So starting in the middle of the nail, pushing back, pulling forward, and doing a nice, neat job to get that top coat everywhere. And capping those edges. We're done. Whew, I can breathe again. Thank you, Kristen. I appreciate that. So, Catherine, the other thing that I do is I also do 2 coats of dip powder to avoid chipping. So on my dips 2 and 3, I run the brush lightly over the edge and I apply dip powder there as well on the free edge. And I found that that system has really helped me avoid chips. So hopefully that helps. Well, the one nice thing with dip powder is that it does, dip liquids, is that they do dry pretty quick. So it lessens the amount of time you have to bump it before it dries. So thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Misty. That is so kind. You guys are the best. Yeah, Catherine, definitely try. So like I said, 2 different dips. I will run the brush over the edge and then with the final top coat as well. And I find those 3 are sufficient, and then I haven't run into chipping issues. Thank you, Griselda. You guys are so nice. Thank you, Catherine. I'm in love, guys, honestly. Like, this set is... I'm so happy. Is that a good view for you guys? Is that... let me hold on. I'm like twisting my body like a contortionist trying to just show you guys how this turned out, because I really want you to see that glitter on there because it's the most subtle little touch, but I absolutely love it. So I'm hoping this is helping you guys get a better angle of what this looks like. You can kind of see on this hand too. I agree, Kristen. It's like that little bit of beach sand, you know? I think that if it didn't have glitter, it would be too boring. So I think that worked out swimmingly. Yay, Tracy, I'm so excited. Let me know how your set goes. Allie, I saw your post. I'm so jealous. 15-year-old Kayla would die for those nails and also to go see Fall Out Boy, because I was definitely a subtle emo girl. I think it was a little more skater, you know, like I lived in skate shoes. I loved Volcom in my teenage years, but I saw your set and they're beautiful, and I'm very jealous, and I hope you have the best time at the Fall Out Boy concert. It's going to be great, I'm sure. Courtney, you absolutely do, because I know you've mentioned that you have had trouble with ombres in the past, and honestly, like this, especially with the clear, try it with a clear powder, because it is so easy with the clear powder, because clear powder is easy to stain. So try a clear powder scrub ombre, and I'm excited to hear how it goes. Yes, I did, Griselda. So I use Namaste for the full color nails, and then I also use it to scrub into the clear powder to create the ombre effect. Oh my gosh. Allie, I hope your 15-year-old appreciates Fall Out Boy as much as we did at their age, okay? I need them to fully appreciate like where they're going and who they're going to see. Yes, Courtney, I'm excited. Okay, good, Allie. That's awesome. Well, I'm very glad to hear that your 15-year-old has such excellent musical taste. You've definitely done a great parenting job if they love Fall Out Boy as much as we have always. Kristen, yes, you need to try it as well. I think you'll love it. Absolutely, Allie, you did. That's awesome. All right, my friends, I unfortunately have to call it a night, but going forward, like I said, I will post this replay on the other video streaming app. If you want to know when that is live, just go over to my TikTok profile, click the link, scroll down to where you can put your email in. That will put you on the email list, and you will get all the alerts when I go live, when the replays are available, etc. Next week, we should be back to our usual Wednesdays at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I said, this week I had to do some rearranging, and so instead of like full-on canceling, which I absolutely hate doing, I just moved it to tonight. So Thursdays was just kind of a one-off, but yeah, next week we should be back to our usual programming. So I'm excited. I will hopefully see you guys all then. Yes, Christy, Namaste has to be on your order for sure. Mom, I am so excited for you. I hope my videos bring you all the joy that hopefully you're looking for and help with your nails. That's awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Courtney, yes, please do, and I will look in and find out why you might not be getting those alerts. I'll take a look. Yes, Allie, I'm so glad you made it here. Have so much fun at your Fall Out Boy concert. I can't wait to hear about it. Make sure you take a nail fee while you're there. I feel like your fellow boys need like a concert photo, you know? So priorities. Awesome. All right, friends. Well, thank you guys again so much for joining. It is so good to see you guys week after week after week. And I love the company. I love the conversation. You guys are so awesome. So thank you very much. I will see everybody next Wednesday at our usual time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope everybody has a great evening. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And I will see everybody next Wednesday. Take it easy, friends. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, Catherine. Bye, Kristen.